Watch this video if you want to see whether the SailGP Technologies team can fix this.
Oh my word, it's a big incident
Problems!
here.
Eddie, okay? Hey, I'm out.
Big problems!
Oh no, and there's a massive incident on board the Brazilian boat.
And repair this.
Oh no! Big incident
look
here
at
in
the
the
front
United
left.
States. They've lost the bow of the boat.
USA requires assistance immediately.
It's a race against the clock and there's only 2 weeks until the boats need to be shipped over to the next event in Saint-Tropez. The Germany Sail Grand Prix in Sassnitz was one of the most action-packed, eventful Sail Grand Prix in history.
Holy shit. I hope everyone's alright.
What a moment, fastest speed in SailGP ever.
A huge incident for Mubadala, Brazil. And the United States SailGP team collided with Emirates GBR in day 1 of racing.
Really sorry. We require assistance immediately.
My name is Alex Hoban and I have an Access All Areas pass here at SailGP Technologies. And I'm super excited to see if they can get those F50s on that start line in Saint-Tropez. The F50 is SailGP's hydrofoiling catamaran, and crucially, it's one design. Every boat is the same. Unlike in Formula 1, where the cars are the responsibility of each team, SailGP look after the entire build process and the maintenance of each and every F50. When the containers arrive here from Sassnitz, it's only then that the SailGP Technologies team are going to get a proper first-hand look at the damage that's been done to these F50s. Once they've assessed that damage, they can then put a plan in place and hopefully, fingers crossed, get these boats back on the water before the next event in Saint-Tropez.
So we've got USA's obviously arrived here now. We need to build a new bow section, get that bonded onto the boat, build a new stern section that obviously went into the GBR boat. Brazil, that boat, there's probably a little bit more on. There's a whole myriad of other repairs to do on that boat, so let's see how we go.
We've only got 12 days before we're going to be back on the shark and heading to Saint-Tropez to make the next event, so time's definitely the essence.
So Matt's NDTing. He's marked out the extent of that repair. We need to cut the bottom off bulkhead J. Then we can finish that. That side was just taping.
Yeah, we're going to remove these two.
They need to come out, the hard lines need to come out. And then we'll cut the socket out, remove that from the top, leave the bulkheads in, grind the taping off those, remove all the uni strapping, and then we can assemble the aft beam on this pod and reintroduce the socket. So the day's the 20th, so we need to get the new socket reinstated, the platform assembled by the 26th.
Yeah.
So we can go in the air, structural test, come back down, start painting and systems fit out to make the 5th for shipping.
An hour here or there will make all the difference. It's going to go down to the wire if the team can make it.
So we've done the NDT on the US boat. We now need to chase out everything that's damaged on the front end and the rear section. We'll have to remove half of the pitch bulkhead so we can have enough room for the reinstate. The guys in the clean room should have all the parts we need in the next few days so we can begin to reinstate the new parts on. It's just about hitting our deadlines each day and getting the boat out there for the 4th of September, which is our deadline date.
Yeah.
And it's more or less it. The engineers here are working tirelessly, but they're only just on schedule at the moment. Right, explain to me how the SailGP Technologies team ensure that you can repair these boats on time, but also stick to your processes.
Yeah, so everything we do has a timeline and a process. We can't cut corners, we can't rush anything. So it really comes down to our project planning. Our project planning and our time allocation and our resource planning is what is key. We have to go through the same process, whether it's cycle cures, processes in between laminates, structural testing, quality sign-off, electronic, hydraulic fit out. So essentially the time is what it will be, it's the planning around that time. Huge effort from everyone, couldn't be prouder with what we've achieved so far.
I'm here at SailGP's event control where the engineers monitor the F50s whilst they're out racing on the water. And when an incident happens, this is where the clock starts ticking, analysis and preparation starts to happen, but how on earth do you schedule a repair and get it done in time for the next event?
USA requires assistance immediately as well.
let us know how's the best way out of here.
We reach out straight away to the engineers to get them into the loop to receive all the repair specification. So before, for example, before USA arrived, we already knew how we were going to reinstate the pieces into the boat. From the repair spec, we break down into how many ops there would be, and that gives us how many days it would take for each repair. The Brazil repair is going well, but there is quite a lot of process and steps we should not miss. We are not cutting any corners because the boat has to go back on tour fully structurally reliable. So it takes as long as it takes, unfortunately. So you can't speed anything. So that's going well. USA is more a question of a big puzzle. On USA is like re-putting parts together, so that's quicker and easier.
What is the scale of the challenge that lies ahead of you here?
2 boats at the same time to repair is quite big, and only 3 weeks for both of them. So we had to make sure we prioritize the biggest damage first.
With the Mubadala Brazil repair, Tim, do you think that you've got the more difficult of the two?
Yes. The boat's essentially 2 hulls with a cross structure, and what happened in the accident is they tore one of the retaining sockets off the boat. So we've got to re-establish that position which sets the distance between the 2 hulls.
Right.
So you've got to set that correct again, and also a brand new forward beam as well. So it's a full new cross structure effectively.
Okay. Once you've achieved all that, which sounds huge to achieve, how do you make sure that the boat is seaworthy?
So it'll go through a full structural test in the facility here next week. We'll go up in the high stands. We put steel dagger boards in it and then pull 4.5 tons in each direction.
For those of us who aren't boat builders like myself, can you just walk me through in really simple terms the process that you're undertaking to get this boat back out in Saint-Tropez?
Okay, so on the aft section of the USA repair, we are reinstating the laminate from the outside, which is done in pre-preg, so we'll have to do a cure on that, which will be around 10 hours. Wow. Build an oven around that section of the boat. The guys are already busy inside, repairing bulkheads, reinstating the sole floor. And then at the forward section, the guys have a section of hull in, and then they're fitting out the pitch bracket and the bulkhead. And then we'll come along with the deck section. We'll bolt a bow to the front, so we know everything's in line, it's running nice and true. And then it's, go to war, laminating, reinstating, and then...
Sounds like a lot, like a lot. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes right now, but best of luck with it. We hope to see him back out in the water, and I'm sure you'll nail it. So run me through your role in the repairs.
I'm part of the electronics department, and we are here essentially reassembling both of these boats. We have the port side of the USA hull. It sustained relatively little damage in regards to electronics, so we have taken our installation out just for preservation of the equipment, and then we will reinstall it once all the composite repairs are complete. The Brazilian boat, in kind of contrast to that, was completely destroyed. All of our hardware and equipment sustained a lot of damage underwater, and then we've had a lot of shear forces on all of the wiring as well, which then essentially renders it useless for us. We can have it tested in certain manners, but we tend not to in this instance.
So we're talking about a full fit out of an F50. How long would that take if there was no time pressure?
Usually for a new build, we say it takes roughly 6 technicians, about 2 weeks.
So today we need to put everything into this port hull. Yesterday we did the starboard hull, which is sort of the looms, all the control systems, all of the wiring. It all needs to be refitted out again. So we just need to put this back on and then just cover it up, tidy it up, clean this up, make sure it's all covered, put the loom back in.
So where I'm at the moment is the junction point where the starboard hull attaches to the cross beams, and we've got all these components coming together in these spots. So this is the hydraulic manifold controlling the can function for the dagger board, and I'm just busy connecting the electrical side of it, so it ties into the control for the can movements on the boat.
So today we've got to fit the reservoir mounts inside the pod. So there's a tank that goes right up the front, and there's it's like a clip that fits to the bottom of the boat. Got to fit that, and then later on we need to finish laminating the socket over on the port side, get the taping done around it, and some uni strapping as well. But we've got to wait until what we did yesterday is all cooked off.
So today we will need to do some pre-preg on top of her, just so the painters will come in and fill it. But we have to get it cooked tomorrow on Saturday, so the painters will come in afterwards and fill it. Because we also still have to put the bow on, so the boat has to be obviously level. So we need to get to a point where the carbon and the work has to be done prior to the painters.
Exactly 13 days since we received the boats, USA and Brazil, so tremendous effort from everyone involved and working through the bank holiday weekend and night shifts, etc. So yeah, I'm sure the teams would be hugely proud and thankful of everything we've achieved to get them back on the water. So we're not quite there yet. We've still got a ways to go with Brazil, but USA is looking good. In terms of next steps, we've got to get the forward beam potted today, and we're aiming to structural test on Thursday night. The boat will come apart on Friday and get loaded into containers and then get trucked. So we're paying for a double driver. It's 36 hours to get the boats to Saint-Tropez, and then the shore teams are on site Friday morning. It's a critical week for us. We've got 5 days to put the rest together. And yeah, looking forward to getting both USA and Brazil back on the water, so thank you.
We've got the bow hasn't actually been fitted to the new part of the boat yet. So we've got to bolt this up with a few bolts, make sure the bow's straight on the boat, and the painters want to see it to see the implications of fairing it into the new part.
Yeah, so this is called an OmniScan. It's a phased array machine. It uses ultrasound to look through the material, and then it's basically looking for air. So looking for voids, defects. It's so important that all the repair work is done to a really high standard, and there's no defects, there's no voids. So I use this machine to come in and just check all the repairs, and the guys have been doing a really good job. So I haven't found any issues so far. So yeah, it's looking good.
So the socket's now fully reinstated structurally. So we've got to reset the beams into the sockets, which is our max beam measurement. So all the boats are within 5 mil of beam. So we're doing a dry one now. We'll then chalk fast it, which is iron filing and resin, which is a dense potting compound. We'll pot it all together with that, so it's all a rigid structure.
This and Brazil was probably the worst 2 boats that could have come back. You kind of got to go big with it. The smaller you go with it, the more you'll see you kind of have to flick it out. It's a real technical colour. If you have a block blue or a red, they're usually okay, but these teals are a bit of a nightmare. So we'll take that masking back and we'll kind of flick it as far as you can, because the heavier you go with it, the more of a line you'll have. There's a lot to get done today. We've got white, red, teal, pink and yellow to do on this bow alone, plus the clear coat and all the masking. So we've got a heavy day coming up.
We've got 24 hours until we do structural testing. So it's more, we've got like the bobstay thing to go in. There's lots of the aero package to come on, which is all the sort of quite detailed jobs that take a lot of time. It's been a long stint to get as much done in a short amount of time. I think we're pretty good shape to finish it up.
Look, we're behind probably 24, 36 hours where we hope to be coming in this morning. And essentially we've built a new forward beam because the forward beam in the pod failed. And now we're trying to put a new forward beam into a different socket. And we had a little stick up this morning and it took us a good 5-6 hours to get the boat apart, and we actually did a little bit of damage getting the boat apart. So really unfortunate, but we're here and we've got the boat apart now. We've got a laminate spec to do the repair, and then we'll be back into it. Everyone was on a real high coming in today, extremely tired. A huge amount of relief when we separated the boat, and now we can see the light of the tunnel again. So all systems go again. You can see the boat behind us. We're taking off the beams. We'll be structural testing tomorrow instead of today now, but still, really confident that Brazil will be on the start line in Saint-Tropez.
last night they managed to finish the repair on the beam socket. Now the next step will be able to find the holes again for all the bushes, to be able to put the beam into the hull, and then we can finally go up in the air and do the structural testing. I think everybody is looking forward to push the hull out of the shed tonight if we can. It would be a massive achievement if we still manage to send it today on time, on target. So we are all really looking forward to put it together and finally being able to break it apart again as well after those structural tests.
While the United States SailGP team's F50 is safely packed back into its shipping container, a huge task remains with Mubadala, Brazil. That F50 needs to be structurally tested in small increments across both hulls up to 4.1 tonnes before it can be dismantled and packed for Saint-Tropez. It's a pretty nerve-wracking moment as 16 days of hard work comes down to this one test.
There will be some noise, it's just been potted, 100%. There will be little bits. No, it's 3 tonne. What was that, 3.5, yeah? 4.1, okay, let's load, let's just hold here for a sec. We're 50% done, starboard side is passed, so we went up to 4.1 tonne twice. A little bit of noise, but not a lot, to be honest, after the boat's been completely repotted. So now we're tacking over the rigging onto the port side, and then we'll do the same procedure. No, that's 1,500 kilos, we go to 4,100. 3,500. 4,100 kilos max load. Back to 3 tonne, 75% complete. Right, structural testing complete. Well done everyone, 4.1 tonne, half.
What an incredible achievement it is to get those 2 F50s repaired back in their containers and shipped over to Saint-Tropez, ready to be on the water for the next event. I'm just totally in awe of this place at SailGP Technologies, the professionalism, the craftsmanship, the technology that is on show here. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.